Sha'ar HaGilgulim. We are in Shi'ur number 10. Am I right or wrong? Shi'ur number 10. Our Shi'ur is the Refuah Shlema of Eliyahu Yonatan Michav Diana, Betzivizi Michav Diana, Shem Shalem Refuah Shlema V'Karov. And our Shi'urs also should be, all of our learning should be Lizakot et Kol HaRavakim שהתחתנו השנה פרק אביחי בן ראובן ולאה וגם אריאל ומרים כל הרווקים השם ישלח להם בת זוגם יעקב ויבנו בית נאמן בישראל. רבותיי, שער גלגולים, shiur number 10. Today we're going to learn a lot of, it's starting to heat up the topics. Okay? Today we're going to learn about something called ibur. What's an ibur? An ibur nishama. An ibur neshama is an impregnation of a soul. That means there could be 2 or 3 people inside one person. In fact, the Ari HaKadosh explains you could have up to 4 neshamot inside a person. Up to 4 neshamot inside a person. How do they all work together?
How do they collaborate?
When they don't collaborate, that's when you have schizophrenia. That's what schizophrenia is.
Really?
When they don't collaborate. But when all the nishamot come together and they work good, and they all fit, as they say, like a piece of the puzzle, from the same shorish, that's when you have a person could use that to actually become even greater. I mean, you have the potential of 4 nishamot inside of you. You could do much greater things, right? If a person is just one nishama, it's good, but there's less nitzotzot inside of him, less sparks of the soul, right? The more nishamot, the more sparks. Pinchas, for example, had 4 nishamot inside of him. He was himself Pinchas. He had Eliyahu Hanavi. There were 2 Eliyahu Hanavis. There's Eliyahu Mishevet Binyamin and Eliyahu Mishevet Eliyahu HaGiladi. Then there's Pinchas. Then there's Nadav and Avihu. He had 4 nishamot inside him. That's how he had the guts to go inside Shevet Shimon. It was kind of like a suicide mission and kill Zimri and Kozbi at the act. I mean, people just hear what happened, they, with all the, I don't want to say same gender stuff, and then people get, what, we don't want to deal with this and that. Could you imagine Pinchas was a Kohen? I mean, he turned into a Kohen. He went inside during the actual Maaseh. He had to see what was going on, because imagine the precision. He had to stab them right in the kuba, right where it hurts. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that much of a thing, but he had guts. How did he have guts to do it? Because he had Eliyahu Navi inside of him. Eliyahu Navi is a kanai for the brit, so Pinchas hit it right at the brit. Yes, and they weren't dead. Hashem waited. Their nishamot didn't leave them. That way he wouldn't become tameh, because at that moment he became a kohen. And the Kohen can't touch a dead body. So the blood didn't trickle down. Hashem froze their blood, so it didn't trickle down. Imagine how many miracles happen. That's called the Ibur. All those stuff, now there's a couple of kinds of Iburim. Okay? Before we get to the Iburim, first we have to understand why Iburim happen. Why does a person, suddenly you're walking around, bam, a soul hits you inside of you. A new soul, they're just, they're running around. Those are the bad ones. That's a dibuk, chas v'shalom. Schizophrenia, multiple personalities. Go to Jamaica Hospital. They have a whole floor of these kind of, I don't want to say, these sicknesses. Dibukim. If a person ever wants to be like Rabbi Yehuda Ftaya and fix souls, he could have good practice. In Jamaica Hospital, you go there and try to do the Yehudi to take out these souls. You understand? But actually, what a person doesn't know, that inside many of us there could be neshamot too. Sometimes bad ones too. They're just quiet. They don't talk. They're quiet. Why? When a person learns Torah, he's able to silence these things. But if a person, for example, walks around, Daniel, he was walking and suddenly he has forceful thoughts in his head. What does that mean, forceful thoughts? He just can't stop these thoughts. They just keep on coming and coming, and he feels like it's not himself. That's a different neshama inside of you that's making you think like that. There was one guy, he was praying Shemona Yisrael, and specifically always while he's praying Shemona Yisrael, he feels like there is something inside of him telling him to convert to the Protestant religion. We finish his Shemona Yisrael, it goes away. He starts praying again, it comes back. He had a soul of a very big Rasha inside of him. some people, those babas, not the Baba Sali. He was a good Baba. I'm talking about the bad Babas. They walk around, they tell people, they trick women. They said, if you're going to be with me, we're going to be pregnant with the Neshama of Mashiach. There was one crazy guy like this a couple of years ago on Main Street. They caught him at the end.
Really?
Yeah. They caught him at the end. He was walking around always with his eyes closed, walking around like that, Baba. And he was telling women, he was tricking them, that if you're going to be with me, you're going to be pregnant with the soul of Mashiach. And these women used to listen to him. What makes a guy go crazy like that? He has an Yibur Neshama Barasha inside of him. That's what happened to Shaul HaMelech, King Saul. It said he had a Ruach Shtut, right? He had a crazy spirit. Okay, you could read it as he went crazy, out of madness, out of jealousy. No, says the Ari. He had a bad Neshama inside of him. Okay, that's all called Iburim. Now there's good Iburim too. We're going to learn today, B'ezrat Hashem. You could have the ability of Avraham Avinu go inside of you. That's already a good Ibur.
Maybe just the guy himself is nuts, not the bad Neshama.
There's no kind of thing. A guy is just born nuts. Nobody's nuts. There's no defected Neshamot. You understand? There's no Neshama that's defected. God doesn't make defected things.
Nefesh, not Neshama.
The Nefesh, the Nefesh, in Echinami.
Problems.
Why does the Nefesh have a problem? Why? If a person suddenly is normal, suddenly out of nowhere he becomes crazy. How did he suddenly become crazy? He could have a Ibur Neshama or Rasha inside of him. It could explain many bad things that happen to people. Suddenly out of nowhere he wants to do many Averot. And it could all happen for simple reasons. Around you there's an Or Makif. If you open it up, that aura is surrounding you, you open it up, you're giving space for these Neshamot to go inside of you. How do you strengthen your Or Makif? You have to do mitzvot that deal with the Or Makif. Tzitzit, Sukkah, Mikveh, all these kind of mitzvot strengthen your Or Makif. Okay, that's why never take off your tzitzit, says the Ari Kadosh. Even when you go to sleep, you have to wear your tzitzit. You don't have to, but trust me, the Ari said it's a good idea for you to do it, because when you're asleep, that's when the Nishamot go inside. They find the leeway to go in. That's why the Tzaddikim, when they go to sleep, they sleep with Divrei Torah. There's a halacha I learned today. You're not allowed to say the pasuk of Shema Yisrael one after another. You can't say Shema Yisrael Echad. Shema Yisrael Echad. You can't do that. God forbid. It's like as if you're saying there's two gods. You could only say it one time. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Some say, now let's say you want to say the whole Kriyat Shema. Shema, V'ahavta, V'haya, and Vayomer. The whole parashiyot, you want to say twice, one after the other. You're allowed to do that? Also not, says Maran.
Maybe made a mistake.
If you made a mistake, mutar. If you didn't make a mistake, you shouldn't do so. When can you do it? If you want to fall asleep while saying Kriyat Shema. Then, in that case, Maran allows a person to say Kriyat Shema one after the other.
So it's like Kriya Torah.
Yeah, of course. You already did your mitzvah when you prayed Mariv. It is then over here, or it's already like a Kriya B'Torah in Echinami. Okay, so let's learn, Rabbi Isaac. So we were in page Lamed Zayin in our book Lamed Zayin, if you remember, right?
Yeah.
His Avad Tzarich Sheteda. So we have three guys over here. We have Reuben, we have Shimon, and we have Levi. We have there's three stooges over here. Okay? So a person should know, when a person fixes his nefesh, Rabbi Gavriel, you fixed your nefesh. You got it all the way to the keter. All the way to the crown. And it comes back in a Gilgul from Reuven to Shimon. Why does it come back in a Gilgul? To take its ruach. Now, according to this, what does that mean? That when the nefesh one comes back, it comes back with all of its parts, right? That seems to contradict what I told you. That the parts that's fixed, it stays, right? So I want to read to you, if you go back one page, just 3 lines from the review Daftaye. He has notes on the Sha'ar HaGilgulim. You see on the side? The notes? You see that? Yeah, over there. It has כי הנה כשחוזר בגלגול לתקן שאר חלקי הנפש. When a person comes back in a Gilgul to fix his nefesh, Daniel, it's not your first time in this world. When you come back to fix your nefesh, שאר החלקים שנתקנו בגלגול הראשון לא יחזרו עם הנפש בגלגול. The parts that you already fixed stay up there, or there would be no end to this world. You would keep on coming back and back and back and back and back. There would be no end. This world would go for 1,000,000 years. But the Gemara says only till 6,000 years. Reuven had a nefesh, right?
Who gets judged?
Reuven had a nefesh. His nefesh is made out of pieces, right? Like your body is made out of pieces, 613 pieces, right? Now he only fixed, let's say, 50 pieces, Reuven. Now when the nefesh comes back into a new guy, to Shimon, to get his ruach also, those 50 pieces that Reuven fixes, Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya, doesn't come back to Shimon. The ones that he fixed don't go to Shimon. It stays in Gan Eden.
Doesn't that make him a little bit less?
Absolutely. The first Gilgul is always the strongest. The first Gilgul, how could you know if your Gilgul is very strong? If in our Gilgul right now, in our reincarnation right now, you're strong in Torah, mitzvot, masim tovim, imagine what the first guy was like. If right now a person is a shlamazo, that means in his first Gilgul, he already wasted all of his nitzotzot. He already either fixed all of his parts of his soul, and whatever was left was just the last pieces, or the first beginning was also rotten. Was barely anything there. That's why he couldn't fix whatever he needed to fix. That's why he had to come back, and he come back as a nobody. There's no nobodies really, but you know, guys get what I'm trying to say over here. So, did you see that Rabbi Yehuda?
No.
You see it? Good. Underline. Let's go back. Now let's say Shimon right now has the ruach and some pieces of the nefesh, right? Let's say 50% he has of whatever was left of the nefesh. Now let's say Shimon makes a avera. He does chilul Shabbat. Okay? Now, let's say Reuven, whatever he fixes, fixed. Now, before Shimon could get the ruach, he has to fix the leftover pieces of the nefesh, right? When he makes an avera now, when he gets the ruach, who gets the avera? Where does he make the blemish? In the ruach or in the nefesh?
In the ruach.
In the ruach. The nefesh is fixed. Okay?
So then how would he ever touch that?
Because to get the ruach, he has to first fix all of whatever was left of what? Of the nefesh. So when he makes the avera, while he has both of them, what is he fixing right now? The nefesh right now is just a cup holder. Okay? He's just holding the ruach. Okay? Whatever is already fixed can never be blemished. You should know one thing. In Judaism, this is a cardinal rule. Whatever you fix could never be broken. It just seems broken. Okay? So when a person does an avera, for example, Gavriel, there was one Kohen Gadol, his name was Yochanan, right? 80 years, if I'm not mistaken, he went inside the Kodesh HaKodashim. For 80 years, Kodesh HaKodashim! Then he became a Kofer B'ikar. What happened to all of his mitzvot, Rabbi Baruch? The Rashash says it went inside Eliezer ben Durdia. It didn't go to waste. The parts of it, that guy that was with all the I don't want to say in the world, he did all the shtuyot, all the this, that at the last second he died from Kiddush Hashem. He was crying so much he died from Teshuvah.
Is it the guys same Shor Neshama? Those two people.
Yeah, of course. You can never go to a person that's not from your Shor Neshama. Okay? Even the people you meet is from your Shor Neshama.
So he didn't stay in Shammai.
No. Because whatever you do in this life stays with you, right? Until you pass away, until 120, right? So what happened when Yochanan passed away, and Eliezer ben Dur, when he passed away, his Yochanan Kohen Gadol's body is gone. It's never getting to get up in Techiyat HaMetim. It's finished. Why? Because he did a very bad sin. He did the worst sin. He was a kofer be'ikar. He said the Torah Shabbat Peh doesn't exist. That's one of the sins that cause a person not to get up in Techiyat HaMetim. That body is gone. So what happened to all of his mitzvot? They went to another guy. Eliezer ben Durdia. You guys seem shocked.
The guy comes in and the bed Kodesh Kodashim, seeing all this holy stuff, and then go back.
Why did that happen to him?
Bad thought.
He couldn't find
Ibur. He had a Ibur Neshama.
Such
Over
a
there,
Understand?
even with the
You see,
Shekhinah.
guys, you had a ibur neshama varasha.
Such a strong individual couldn't overcome that neshama.
Don't worry, whatever tests the ibur nishamot that we get are small fry. Don't worry, we're good. They don't want to mess with us, okay? We're small fry over here. So could you imagine that? Huh?
If he did whatever he did, right?
Yeah.
He's supposed to go to Shamayim.
Yeah.
And then let's say he did 80%, and 20% supposed to get this Rabbi Eliezer ben Dardai.
But Yochanan ben Gadol made what kind of avera? He made an avera that caused his body to lose its tchiyat hametim.
So now you don't have the body.
So it has to go. Everything has to go to someone else. Now Eliezer ben Durdia, don't think he got what Yochanan ben Kohen Gadol did, and that's it. He never came back in a Gilgul. This Eliezer ben Durdia has been coming back in a Gilgul every single generation. And what do you think is his tikkun of Eliezer ben Durdia? He has to do avero. He has to grow in a very secular home. I'm sorry, he has to grow up in a very religious home, get off the derech, and come back again. Huh? I saw this in Hasidic sources.
So there's a pugam again. You go out, there's pugam.
There's no pagam. We learned this yesterday in Otzrot Chaim. Really, there's no pagams. It's just blindness.
So what we see is mamash and elul.
Absolutely. This whole world.
That's why you go to a rabbi and you want to talk to him about the guy who's off the derech mamash.
Yeah.
Okay? Boel goyot.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what you see. The whole point of the pagam is to, at the end of the day, get to a higher state of tikkun.
Oh, you fell to.
The point of falling is to get up again. Exactly. To grade up greater. Understand?
How do you get hit with a pigum?
How do you get rid of the pagam?
No, how do you get hit in the first place? Like, how does it wake up?
The pagam?
Yeah, the bad.
The bad neshama or the ibur? Oh, how does that happen?
Sorry, yeah.
When a person does an avera, usually when he does a promiscuous avera. You know what a promiscuous avera is? Something to do with the opposite gender. Usually when you do that kind of a sin, that's when the bad souls find an opening to go inside of you. To get rid of them, you could only do it through one way, Daniel. Learning the secrets of the Torah and going to the mikvah. That's it. There's no other way to get rid of them.
Getting cold outside.
It's getting cold outside, exactly. But today was very nice. And we said yesterday in our shiur that one of the ways to make sure this limud doesn't spit you out is to do what? You have to go to the mikveh. It's important to go to the mikveh. It's important to go. The Ari HaKadosh says there is nothing in the world that helps a person open his mind in Torah more than going to the mikveh.
It's true though.
Inside the mikveh, according to the Hasidic sources, when you dip inside the mikveh, all the bad neshamot that want to go inside of you, when you dip inside the mikveh,
You stay out.
they stay out. And they can never come back in. You understand? That's the power of the mikveh. That's why a person, Chas Shalom, as he saw something in the middle of the night he wasn't supposed to see. He had a bad dream. You understand? The Chidah says, don't wait. By tomorrow night, make sure he goes to the mikveh. By Shkia, make sure he goes to the mikveh. Okay? If you go to the mikveh within 24 hours of being Tevilat Ezra, that's what they call, you could kill all the Malachei Chabala that you created. And Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya brings this down in his book Matok LaNefesh. That's the power of the mikveh.
But it's only with the Tikkun HaGalei, no? You said?
That's what Rav Nachman Breslev added that.
No, but that's just this mikvah you can do.
Yeah, this is just the mikveh. Okay? The Rav Nachman Breslev says you have to go to the mikveh and say the Tikkun HaKlali. Okay? But don't think if you just read Tikkun HaKlali, that's it, everything is going to be fine in your life. Obviously not. Okay? Now let's continue. So when a person, so Shimon over here, he sins while he has a nefesh and the ruach. Which one gets the sin? The ruach. Now to fix the ruach is much easier than to fix a nefesh. But as long as he doesn't fix the ruach, guys, he'll never get his neshama.
Wait, can you just say what you said? You said that it's much easier to fix the ruach than the nefesh?
Absolutely. Because when you fix a ruach, don't forget, in its original form, it's already naturally cleaner. The nefesh is always closer to the klipa. You understand? So no matter how much you clean it, it's still like on the borderline always. That's why you always have to reach until which sphera the nefesh? Till keter. Don't forget that, guys. It's a very important klal. The nefesh is the hardest to fix because it's closer to the klipa, and that's why you have to reach all the way to keter in the sphera.
The nefesh is it's liver, they say, right? It's like the.
It's in, yeah, the nefesh is the blood. Ki hadam hu nefesh. That's why, guys, when you make shashlik, don't think I'm not joking with you, Gabriel. When you make shashlik at home, it's better not to eat the liver.
Man, that's my favorite.
Liver or heart, no?
Stop eating that.
Heart also.
Yeah. When you make shashlik,
Yeah, but what's the problem?
don't eat liver. Halachically speaking, there's no problem.
But
Kabbalistically speaking, inside the kaved is all the klipa of Esav. The heart, the brain.
I know
Yeah.
where there's a lot of
Yeah,
blood.
make sure it's like
Anything that's a lot of blood, Gabriel, make sure to stay away from that. That's where all the klipa is.
But what if you make it
Makes
well
sense.
done, Rav?
Okay.
If you need to, listen. You need to do it. You need to do it. You gotta do what you gotta do. I'm just saying, Kabbalistically speaking, don't over exaggerate. That's it. Okay? But if you gotta do it for health reasons, then you gotta do it. Do you know the liver is the only organ?
That is no problem.
Is the only organ that could regenerate?
Yes.
Build himself. Yeah.
It builds itself. You know why? Because it's the home of the nefesh. Okay, it's the home of the desire to receive.
The liver? I would think the
liver.
heart, no?
The heart is the ruach already. What does the heart do? It beats. Understand? It has ruach inside of it. It beats. Okay? Neshama is where you think. Where does the neshama stay usually? In the head. Okay? Continue. אין הפגם הוא פוגם בנפש כדי שנאמר שצריכה עוד הנפש היא להתגלגל פעם אחרת יחידי לתקן הדרך הנזכר. So the nefesh never gets פגם once it's already fixed. Why? לפי, because שכיוון שיש שם רוח, because there is a רוח already. הנה הפגם הוא פוגם ברוח לבדו עד שיתוקן. Since he already got his ruach, if he makes the avera right now, it only goes to the ruach until it gets fixed. לכן, אם יצטרך איזה גלגולים אחרים כדי לתקן את הרוח, therefore, if you need more גלגולים to fix the רוח, באים נפש ורוח ביחד, ומגלגלים שניהם עד שישתלם תיקון הרוח. Now, let's say Shimon didn't finish the ruach. He didn't finish fixing the ruach. He didn't finish. He only fixed 70% of the ruach. Right? Now when it comes back in a gilgul to Levi, Levi has to work with what Shimon missed out. Okay? And Levi is going to get the leftover of the nefesh and ruach.
50 and 70?
Okay? Whatever percentage that he fixed, of that Shimon didn't fix. Okay? But still, all the pagams that Levi is going to make is going to go to what? To the ruach. Because the ruach here is not fixed. Okay? The ruach here is not fixed. The nefesh was fixed long time ago. Imirza Hashem. To all of us too. Amen. Okay?
Wait, but you said 50% is only going to I don't get it.
Now, let's say, so ask the question. What's the question over here?
You just said 50% was right?
Okay.
And he had the ruach.
He's catching a good question. Yeah?
How do you even get to the ruach if you still didn't complete 100%? That's first.
Yeah.
Second of all...
So you're saying, how did the nefesh that Shimon had the nefesh in the ruach, right? Whatever was other. He finished fixing the nefesh, he got his ruach.
Yeah.
Now he didn't finish his ruach. Why? You're asking why should the nefesh come back over here?
Yeah.
It's an amazing question. It's an amazing question. The ruach has to come with a body. You can't just have a ruach inside a person alone. It has a kli. Let's think of the ruach as water. It needs some pipe to hold it. It needs a vessel to hold it, right? Sometimes the nefesh is fixed, but it's also not fixed. In what case is that? Let's say with your nefesh, you did all the mitzvot and you didn't do any averot. You just missed one avera, one mitzvah. I'm sorry. You didn't do shiluach haker in your life. You didn't send the mother bird away. In that case, the nefesh comes back into Levi or into Shimon as a holder for the ruach, but he's just there for a temporary amount of time until he gets the mitzvah that he missed. But the averot that Levi and Shimon do don't go to the nefesh, Because technically speaking, the nefesh is there as what?
It's a cup.
As a cup holder, a guest. He's just doing a favor to the ruach. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So he doesn't step there.
He comes down to help out his ruach. You asked an amazing question. Good catch.
He does not get damaged.
Huh? He does. That's exactly what he's saying. He doesn't get damaged. He's just there. How you saying as a guest?
Partner.
As a partner, just helping him out. Okay, that's called Gilgul Hadome Le'ibur. Okay, it's a Gilgul that's like an Ibur. Okay, it's not really an Ibur, and it's not really a Gilgul. It's a Gilgul Hadome Le'ibur. We're gonna get into it in the next chapters, Bezrat Hashem. Okay, we're towards the end of chapter 2. Okay, so we said the ruach. Therefore, if you need more gilguls to fix the ruach, the nefesh and the ruach come back again, and they come back in a gilgul, both, until the ruach is fixed. And then the guy passes away. And then, let's say Levi fixed the nefesh and the ruach. Now we have over here, I don't know, let's call him Israel. Israel then gets, after Levi finishes the ruach, he has to die. You can't have nefesh, ruach, and neshama all together in one body after Reuven couldn't do it. Once Reuven can do it,
You're talking the original story.
the original one, if he couldn't do it, now the rest, Shimon, Levi, and Israel, to get the next parts of the soul, they have to die.
But they all
Shocking news. You just got shocked.
What do you mean? They all died.
Yeah, no. Levi fixed the ruach. He fixed the ruach. He's not going to get his neshama.
No.
He has to die.
And then you'll
And then he comes back as a new guy called Israel. And then he gets also the neshama.
So how did Moshe get it?
What? Moshe Rabbeinu, take it easy. He had 3 different kinds of sparks inside of him. On one hand, he was an old soul. On one hand, he was a soul from Cain and Hevel. And on one hand, he was also a new soul. Since he had a piece of a new soul inside of him, it was his first time, technically speaking, in the world, he was able to get all 3. But he was also fixing Hevel and Shem. You understand? And Noach. He was fixing a lot of guys. And he had 600,000 sparks. I mean, Moshe Rabbeinu was Moshe. There's a whole chapter on him over here. David HaMelech was an old soul. He was his first time in the world, but he was considered an old soul because he fell inside the Klippa when Adam sinned. Any one of us that fell in the Klippa that when Adam sinned, which is, we're going to learn, most of the human beings in the world, automatically is considered an old soul, even though it's his first time living in the world. And he can never have all parts of his soul in one Gilgul, which is very sad. In one hand. Okay? And the other hand, listen, that's the way the game goes. There is a way to fix this. If you say a certain pasuk in Kriyat Shema Lamita and you have a kavanah, then the person could get his neshama and not pass away. But we're not there yet. When we get there, I'll point it out, okay? So far, we're still in the nefesh. Okay? Weiter. Couple of more lines. And then if Israel has now nefesh, ruach, and neshama, now these 2 are already what?
Done.
They're done. If he has a neshama, if he makes a sin, God forbid, only Tvagam goes to the neshama. Okay? We're at the end of the paragraph. Okay? He goes to the neshama. Now, we're going to learn later on, once a person reaches the neshama stage, it's very rare for him to sin. Very rare. He's already on that kind of a level where averot for him take a different, it has a different meaning. For him, averot already is in a more spiritual level. Like the only averah that a guy who has a neshama will do is probably averah in the brain. That's it. And machshavot. Okay? A person who has a ruach, who has nefesh and ruach, for example, most of the averot he will do is mostly in the mouth. With what's a mouth? Ruach. Right? Person who has only a nefesh, he's a guy who's still sitting mostly in the... That's also it's a way to find out if you're still benefesh ruach or neshama. Okay? I think it's safe to say we're all still in the nefesh, you're saying. Okay, what can we do? Ariel, en mala asot. En mala asot. Ze achayim. Okay? Weiter. Okay? Actually, I think we're gonna end over here. It's been because it's already a new topic, okay? And I don't wanna get into I don't wanna exactly. I think it's good, half an hour is good too. No need to overindulge. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.